Welcome into season 5 of The Butcher versus the Dance Instructor, presented by LB's Meat Market. I am Neil McCready, joined once again this year by Greg Jones, LB's Meat Market, and Caroline McCready from Legacy Performing Arts, Legacy Center for the Performing Arts. Pretty close.
Yes.
Legacy Studio for Performing Arts in Fayetteville. Back for season 5. It's Caroline's second season as a predictor, and I think it's her third or fourth season as a producer. So both of you guys been heavily involved in this show as we hit the 5th year of it. Welcome in. Hope everybody is having a good late August as we get ready for week 1 of the college football season.
Thanks.
I'm just ready to be back for football, just ready everything to kind of get back normal. I don't know how normal Oxford's going to be this year, but just ready to get back in the swing of things and just of normal schedule and football games every weekend. So just ready for this year. So very, very anticipation over here in Oxford.
All right, so let's recap real quick about last season, how everyone is spent celebrating or mourning, depending on the outcome. Caroline was the winner last year, kind of in a runaway fashion. She had a very dominant, if I recall correctly, kind of October and built a lead that was just insurmountable for Greg. He tried. He made a couple of mini runs at it, but Caroline just proved to be way too much. So we'll start with you, Caroline, since you won. I know this changed your life, winning the competition and all the attention that came for it, kind of from everywhere. How do you feel like you've handled the success as you get ready for your second season?
I mean, I was pleasantly surprised that I won, and I hope I win again. I think I'm more confident in my decisions now, because at the beginning last time I was like, I did not know what I was doing. So now I do feel like I'm more confident. I'm more smart when it comes to, like, I'm not going to pick Arkansas as much as I did at the beginning.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Okay. Greg, this is.
Trust me, I've had customers come in and they're like, Greg, man, I mean, like, she knows her stuff. You literally better start getting in on that homework. And I'm like, I mean, she's produced the show for 3 years. She's been on the show, for the 4. I mean, like, she knows what's going on,
Yeah.
like, so I mean, like, I would probably trust her picks more than mine. But no, it's just, you could tell it was kind of funny the first time we did this show. Campbell was kind of like skating on ice. She was just like, I like the green team, or what's their mascot, And then, she kind of, grew up. It was like, and she ventured on to her favorite Bachelor character is from Buffalo. So, she's but, just Caroline already knows her stuff. So I was just, she's ready to roll.
Yeah, so, I mean, I know that you've kind of had a training camp getting ready for this, because you've lost 3 out of 4 years. I mean, you do have one LB's Cup.
Yeah, lots of ice cream sandwiches. Yeah,
just kind of getting ready. All right, let's tell everybody real quick about LB's. 2008, University Avenue in Oxford. Listen, Oxford's crazy right now. It's only going to get crazier as the weekend gets here. I mean, we were talking before the start. We tape this for people that don't know. We tape this on Wednesday afternoons. This is not football traffic. The football traffic's not here yet. So this is it's the busiest, most crowded I've seen Oxford in the 17 years that we've lived here. So if you're new to town, if you've got a student that's new to town or whatever, stop by LB's, make it a part of your weekend. You can't always get that restaurant reservation on the square, and frankly, sometimes you don't want to fight the square. So grab LB's, 2008, University Avenue in Oxford. It's right across the street from Kroger. You can let Kroger be your landmark, and then you can head over into LB's. You're going to get the absolute best cuts, whether it's beef, pork, chicken, house-made sausages. There's fresh seafood quite frequently. There's the stuffed jalapenos, the stuffed mushrooms. There's just a lot of stuff there at LB's. Greg, am I leaving anything out?
No, I think you've hit the nail on and you ticked every box. It's just like Neil was saying, this is going to be a season. We don't know. I mean, if it's already crazy and there's not even football fans in town, I mean, it's going to be crazy. So it's almost better just to come in LB's, get you a couple of those frozen chicken breasts, a couple steaks, and some sausages, and you got to hit up my mom's side. She's real proud of those. So it's just better just to just slide in LB's and get everything be done for the weekend.
So again, 2008 University Avenue in Oxford. If you have a specific order you want to call ahead, you can do that. Greg, what's the number?
Yeah, so it's 662-259-2999. So we are going to start offering a text service. So you can literally start texting LBs and just say, hey, we are coming into town, just a time and everything. And we can start doing text message orders. So I feel like that might help out some people coming in town because, like you were saying, the reservation's not always going to be there. And the line to, most of these restaurants are going to be out the door. So if you can, plan ahead and text ahead, I think that'd be a good thing. So we're going to try to offer that for our customers.
Caroline, senior year for you in college. Has it hit a little bit that this is your final year of undergrad?
A little bit. It's just weird because my friends are starting to apply to grad school or get full-time jobs. But I do think we're getting ready. Like, you get to a point where you're like, I'm so tired of going to class and like having to do school. So, yeah. I mean, it's weird, but I am going to stay in Northwest Arkansas. I'm like completely decided on that. So that does make me feel more at ease about being a senior. So, yeah, but it's been fun.
Living in the sorority house as a senior, you're one of the older ones, obviously. A lot of younger girls. What's that been like so far?
It's weird. There's 187 of them walking around that I don't know any of their faces. So that's a little hard just because everyone else, it's like, them so well. So, and it's like, now I'm like the old one that they're like, who is that? So it kind of,
you should have your own room. Definitely should have your own room.
Yeah, but I have a bunk bed. I'm in a bunk bed for senior year. Probably the last time I'll ever sleep in a bunk bed. So yeah, it's fun. There's 20 people in my pledge class that live here. So it's been really fun. It's fun to live in house.
All right, let's get rolling with some football picks. There's 6. So with the SEC's bigger this year. So Oklahoma's joined the league. Texas has joined the league. That's official now. They play their first games this weekend with the SEC patch on their chest. There are 6 games involving SEC teams this week, including Ole Miss and Furman, that there is no line because they're playing FCS schools. So let's see. It's Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, and somebody. They don't have no lines on those games. So we got 10 games with lines. In case you're wondering why we didn't pick the Ole Miss game, we didn't pick the Ole Miss game because it doesn't have a line. We'll pick the Ole Miss game next week when they play Middle Tennessee, and then the rest of the way when they play what's it called? I guess BCS teams or whatever, the Division I teams, not the teams that are in the second division. So we'll start with a Friday night game. Caroline, you are the champion. You get to go first. Oklahoma joins the SEC. They'll make it official on Friday at 6:00 on ESPN against Temple. The Owls come in, Caroline, as a 43-point underdog into Norman.
43 points is a lot. Even though I do really like Oklahoma and I hope they do it, but I'm going to go with Temple for this one.
All right, Greg, first pick of the year is in. She's taking the Owls and 43 against Brent Venables.
So I think the underdogs were 4 or 5-0 the first week. So I think with Georgia Tech, and with Georgia Tech actually winning straight up. So I think Vegas has a little a problem on their hands with not only recruiting, getting inside information on people coming in, but NIL and that sort of thing. So I'm just going to go with every underdog week 1 and just see how. And I got a hunch that Vegas needs to dig a little bit deeper and get into the the transfer portal and stuff like that, because if you missed the Florida State line by that bad, I mean there's got to be something going on. So I'm going to go with underdogs this year.
I'm going to give a plug to another MPW digital show, McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. If you listened or watched McCready and Siskey for the last month, you were not surprised when Georgia Tech knocked off Florida State. Tyler Siskey, I'll give him credit where it's due, for more than a month, said Georgia Tech would win straight up. He nailed it.
Yeah. I think it's not Twitter anymore, but whatever. Georgia Tech's account had a really good tweet at, because all the college game day guys picked Florida State, and they're like, I can't wait to see Florida State run the ball, and they just got stuffed on the run on everything. So it was that was good little stuff. So but yeah, I'm glad when underdogs win like that. I think it's good for the game.
All right, we're going to test your underdog theory here or there. So we got Saturday's games now. Clemson and Georgia meet in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This is 11 o'clock Central Time on ABC. Clemson, Greg, is a 13.5-point underdog against the top-ranked Bulldogs.
Man, we will put that underdog theory. I just think Georgia's, still on a level that is probably, going to be tough to reach. So I'm going to take the favorite here and think they at least win by 2 touchdowns.
So Caroline, Greg's sticking with the underdogs pick did not last. A trend did not last one game. So he's already off his.
I'm just going to pick really good teams. And then just, I don't know. I mean, like,
Greg says on pick one. On pick one, I'm going all underdogs. On the very next pick, I'm taking the favorite. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's your game. All right, so he's taking Georgia and laying 13.5, Caroline.
I'm going to agree with Greg. I'm going to go with Georgia too.
Yeah, I think. Listen, I've told people this. I know a couple people inside that Georgia program, and the level of confidence that's oozing out of that building, it's not bravado, it's just confidence. Maybe they're wrong, but they don't think they're wrong. They think this is maybe Kirby's best team in Athens, which should scare the hell out of everybody. All right, Caroline, another 11 o'clock game on ESPN, this one in Nashville. It's Virginia Tech heading to Vanderbilt. Virginia Tech, a 13.5-point favorite on the road against the Commodores.
I'll go with Virginia Tech. I started out last year picking Vanderbilt, and I was always wrong. So,
yeah, you did.
Yeah, I might have should have reworded. I should have just said I'm just going to pick like if the team is really really bad and they're over two touchdown underdogs. I mean, there's a reason why. So yeah, I gotta work my underdog angle a little bit better, but. Yeah, because I'm not taking Vanderbilt. I mean, just like I might as well just go ahead and throw my money and just lock it in a suitcase and drop it in Sardis if I'm going to take Vanderbilt all year. Idiot.
Great. I just love the all underdog strategy where we've gone one underdog and 2 favorites immediately out of the gate. All right,
I'm
Greg.
taking my Tech. Sign me up. I'm not taking Vanderbilt this year.
Look, it's really hot outside, okay? Sometimes you just get, you're mentally get kind of shot. All right. Another underdog, Greg, Colorado State. They head to Texas. The Longhorns' first game is an SEC member, 2:30 on ESPN. The Rams, a 32.5-point dog in Austin.
Yeah, I like the Rams there. That's a good number. I'm thinking like they should win by 21, 24. So I'm kind of liking that underdog right there.
All right, Caroline. Greg's going to take 32.5 points with Colorado State against Hookham and the gang there in Austin. What do you think?
I'll go with Texas for this one.
Oh, Caroline's going to lay the points.
My look is probably going to be 42-0, and Arch Manning's coming out in the third quarter to rack it up like 70-10 probably. So it's probably the lock of the year.
All right, Caroline, I want to ask you this. At SEC Media Days in Dallas last month, Steve Sarkisian, the Texas coach, said that he thinks that Arkansas hates Texas more than Arkansas loves Arkansas. You're there. How much Texas hatred is there on campus?
Not much. I mean, with me, no. I mean, like, the Texas game this year will be big, but I honestly, no, I feel like I'm not sorry, Ole Miss fans, everyone listening. We hate Ole Miss here. And
why? What is the deal
A&M.
You hate A&M. You hate Ole Miss. Why? I get the A&M hate. What's the Ole Miss hate for?
You can't get me started on the Ole Miss talk.
Oh,
You
man.
get it because when Ole Miss wins, you get it from your friends. You get it. You get.
Yes.
But on
But I
campus
think
in general, who's the big rival?
Ole Miss or A&M.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, because aren't they trying to get the LSU? Aren't they trying to relive like push the LSU Arkansas rivalry to like for the boot?
Yes,
Well,
but that never. It's
You know,
not that big.
here's why that rivalry doesn't work. It's because it would work more like if LSU was in North Louisiana and Arkansas was in Southern Arkansas. That rivalry would have more to it. But like, if you want to drive from Baton Rouge to Fayetteville or Fayetteville to Baton Rouge, man, that's a haul. Like it just doesn't happen, right? So it just doesn't make it'd be like trying to turn the Ole Miss Missouri thing into a big rivalry where you'd be like, it doesn't really make sense, even though you can be like, well, they're border states. And you're like, well, kind of, but not really.
With my friends, first I like realized that Ole Miss and Arkansas, everyone knows each other. Like a lot of kids from places, some of them go to Arkansas, some of them go to Ole Miss. Like a ton of my friends at Ole Miss are friends with like my college friends, high school friends, if that makes sense. So the Ole Miss Arkansas game is always like such a big deal to both schools, but
because there's a lot of Texas kids go to both schools.
Yeah. And like Memphis.
Memphis kids. I think that's probably a lot of it is everybody knows each other from high school. Yeah. All right. So Greg's taking Colorado State the points. Caroline's going to lay them on the horns. I apologize for the deviation. I was just curious. All right. This is a big game. I think this is one of the games we've talked about. This is the first one that's really interesting. Miami of Florida, the Hurricanes, they head to Gainesville to play the Gators. Miami is a 2.5-point favorite on the road against Billy Napier and the Gators. It's a 2:30 game on ABC, Caroline.
I'll go with Florida. I know nothing about this, so I'm just going to pick one.
All right. Caroline's going to take the Gators and get 2.5 at home, Greg.
How hot is Napier's seat right now? Is it pretty hot? Like, does he need? He needs to do something.
He needs to win. It's probably not as hot as like Sam Pittman's at Arkansas or probably even Shane Beamer's at South Carolina, but it's hot. He needs to win. Here's the deal for them: is to fire Billy Napier is $25 million. So in this era,
Well, how much do you get to spend on NIL this year then?
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know what he's got or doesn't have in NIL.
Man, I'm going to go Miami. Let's turn the seat up on Billy down there. I mean, because they'll come up with $25 million if they need to.
So Greg is going to take the favored Hurricanes on the road at Florida. All right, we go South Carolina. Speaking of Shane Beamer and the Gamecocks, South Carolina opens its season on Saturday, 3:15 SEC Network at home against Old Dominion. Greg, the Gamecocks, a 20.5-point favorite over the Monarchs.
I'm gonna go Old Dominion. I like these points here. I think they're gonna keep it tough. I think a 2-touchdown game. How about that?
Okay. All right. Caroline, Greg's going to take Old Dominion. Do you know where Old Dominion is?
No.
Do you, Greg?
Isn't it like in like Oklahoma or something? No, that's Oral Roberts.
It's Oral Roberts.
Indiana or something like that, maybe?
No. Caroline, you want to take one more guess?
No.
All right. It's Norfolk, Virginia.
No, I would never guess that.
Yeah.
I would assume because it's an older university, I think it was in that, kind of Maryland area.
Yeah.
When I was a kid growing up in Ruston, the Louisiana Tech women's basketball team was like a really big deal. And when they were getting to the top, one of the programs they had to get through was Old Dominion, because Old Dominion had, I think Nancy Lieberman played for Old Dominion. And I think Ann Donovan. I can't believe I remember all these names. That's how big of a deal it was in Ruston. But when Old Dominion and Louisiana Tech played women's basketball in Ruston, it was a really big deal.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was kind of
cool. I remember. I mean, wasn't LSU's coach at La Tech?
Yeah, Kim Mulkey played probably in that era that I'm referencing. Yeah, she was playing for Louisiana Tech at that time.
Yeah.
with her
That's awesome.
pigtails. Yeah. All right, Caroline. Greg's taking Old Dominion in 20.5 against South Carolina.
I'll take South Carolina.
Okay. The young quarterback for South Carolina, Lenoris, I think it's Jenkins, making his college debut as the Gamecock starter. So that will be an interesting game to watch. Speaking of interesting, both of you, Caroline, Alabama opens its season ranked fifth in the country, just in front of Ole Miss. 6 p.m. game on ESPN. Alabama's a 31-point favorite over Western Kentucky. It's Alabama's first game without Nick Saban as the head coach since 2006. How about that? Been a long time since somebody besides Nick Saban was the Alabama coach. It's Kalen DeBoer, not Caden. Kalen DeBoer, the former Washington coach, now the head coach at Alabama. So Western Kentucky plus 31 against the Tide, Caroline.
I'm going to go Alabama.
All right. Any particular reason? You just sticking with the Tide?
Yeah, just always.
All right, Greg, she's going to take Alabama and lay 31.
So that's why she's so good at this. It just, you keep it simple, like just take Alabama every weekend, and you probably go 8-2 on the year probably with them. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Caleb DeBoer or whatever. So you just missed a home run.
Oh, did I?
I'm
looked
gonna
up
go
and I
with
saw the score, and so I was like, oh, they did something.
I'm going to go with my underdogs here. I'm going to go with the Hilltopper. I'm going to be a Hilltopper on this game.
All right, Greg, back on the underdog train here, taking Western Kentucky. All right, probably the most interesting game of the week in college football. Texas A&M, their first game without Jimbo Fisher. I guess not first game because he didn't finish the season as the head coach, but the first game in the Mike Elko era for Texas A&M at home against Notre Dame. Greg, 6:30 ABC. Notre Dame, Riley Leonard, all those guys, a 2.5-point underdog in College Station.
Well, I just watched the Manti Te'o thing, so I don't think I could take Notre Dame on anything after watching that. So yeah, give me the Aggies. We'll giggle.
Are you familiar with Manti Te'o, Caroline?
No.
He was a Notre Dame linebacker, All-American linebacker, was very, very talented player. He got catfished badly for
like public
he thought it was his girlfriend, and they communicated all the time, and she quote died end quote, and her death.
Well, she had leukemia first, like that. The leukemia came, and like he started praying, and then she could hear her voice, and then all of a sudden, like when his grandmother died, or I don't know if the girlfriend died first, but yeah, it was pretty wild. Like she just all of a sudden had leukemia and then died, and also like 2 weeks. It's wow. And
it was finally revealed while he was still playing at Notre Dame that there was no girlfriend. She didn't exist. She ended
up being transsexual.
Yeah, she ended up being this. It was a scam they were playing on him. It was crazy. It's a documentary you should watch.
Yeah.
And I watched the Connor Stallion ones. That's pretty wild too.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet. All right, Caroline, Greg's taking Texas A&M, laying the 2.5 points at home against Notre Dame.
I'm going to go with Notre Dame this week because I don't like A&M.
Oh, okay. All right, this is personal.
Yeah. That's why we have the competition. I knew she was going to do that.
Yeah, it's the personal one.
Yeah, Notre Dame's. I mean, A&M's just a weird team. They've beaten you guys though 9 out of 10 years, Caroline. Y'all played them close, and it's a big game. You don't win it. So, all right, last 2 games. Southern Mississippi, they go to Lexington to play the Kentucky Wildcats. This game 6:45 on the SEC network. Southern Miss, Caroline's a 28-point underdog against Big Blue.
I'm gonna go with Southern Miss.
Really? Why?
Yeah, 28's a lot in Mississippi. I'll be loyal.
Okay.
And it's the first week. I'm just
okay. That's a level of arrogance right there, Greg. She's like, first week, if I fall behind, it's no big deal. I got this.
Yeah. And she took my underdog away from me.
Yeah. So she said She's taking Southern Miss and 28 points against the Wildcats, Greg. It's nothing stopping you from taking them too.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I talked to Dane Key the other day. He's a real nice kid. He said they're going to be pretty decent. Like they're going to be ready to roll when they come into Oxford. I always ask him when I see him, like, "Hey, you coming to Oxford this year?" Because he's almost like the Tim Elko of college football. He's been at Kentucky forever. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go Kentucky. I think they're going to win probably, I don't know, 45-10.
Yeah, I'm always kind of high on Kentucky. I don't really know why. I just kind of always am. I like their uniforms. It might just be that simple. It may just be a blue and white thing that I like them. All right. And then the other team that I'm always kind of interested in, because I maybe this is just the whole Louisiana boy in me. I never considered going to LSU, but I a lot of friends that went to LSU. Grew up in Ruston. My grandfather was a big LSU fan, so I've always been interested in LSU. LSU and USC meet Sunday night, 6:30 on ABC. This game is in Las Vegas. The Sunday night game before the NFL gets started next week. Southern Cal, Greg, is a 4.5-point underdog against Brian Kelly and the Tigers.
Man, I think it's going to be a sneaky good game. I mean, you don't know who's USC's quarterback, or did they get anybody in the transfer portal, or
No, it's Miller Moss. Miller Moss, who backed up Caleb Williams last year. He quarterbacked the bowl game and was very good for them. He's the starter.
All right, I'm gonna go with USC.
All right. Caroline, Greg is going to take the Trojans and 4.5 points in Vegas against LSU.
I'm gonna take LSU. Like I always do. I have a friend there.
Who's your friend there? Oh, the former Arkansas student. Yeah. She enjoying LSU?
Yep, she is. And her little sister just went through Rush there, and they're now both Kappas together. So.
Oh, and shout out to Shreveport's own Chloe Green.
Oh yeah.
How about that, Chloe? One of Campbell.
She's at LSU.
She got into LSU veterinary school. Took a couple of years to get there. It's very competitive to get into a veterinary school. She sort of was patient, waited. She got into LSU veterinary school, and that was it was kind of choice one, and she didn't get it, and went all around the world for a couple of years, and ended up at LSU. So shout out to Chloe. I know you're listening. I know you're a loyal listener to the show. So glad that worked out. That's
really shout out Bossier City. My filly loves Bossier City.
Yeah. How's your horse doing?
She ran down at Evangeline, and the turf course down at Evangeline is not so turfy. It doesn't have a lot of grass on it, so she didn't like the turf course. But she's heading back to Louisiana Downs, and she'll run in 2 weeks, and she'll probably be really tough. So she's been doing good. She's got one more race, and then I'm going to give her a 30-day vacation on a nice ranch and some green grass, and so she'll enjoy her vacation in Louisiana for about a month, and then get ready for the fairgrounds. She'll probably get prepped for the first turf race starts in around Thanksgiving. So we'll get her ready to roll, and she'll be down in the fairgrounds around Thanksgiving. So it's been fun. It's been, it's basically been like an Ole Miss fan with her. There's been so many downs, and then there's been a big up, and then now there's downs. So no, it's been a real fun thing. So she'll run in 2 weeks, and then she'll get a vacation and get ready for the fairgrounds in New Orleans.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll be back next week. We'll do another round of picks. We'll see how we did in week 1 and get ready for week 2. Ole Miss has a home game next week against Middle Tennessee, so it will be another big week for you to plan on stopping by LB's 2008 University Avenue in Oxford. Stop in, get the freshest cuts. Don't forget you can text your order to Greg and everybody. Tell them when you're coming in, what you want, and y'all can make all those arrangements via text if you can't get through to talk to a person or whatnot, or if you just prefer to text, you can do it. You can do it that way as well. So again, LB's Meat Market, 2008 University Avenue in Oxford. Greg, that number is 259-2999.
Correct, 662.
662-259-2999. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. If you're traveling, please be safe wherever you are going, and we'll see you again next week for another edition of The Butcher versus the Dance Instructor, presented by LB's Meat Market. For Caroline McCready, for Greg Jones, I'm Neil McCready. Have a great weekend. Take care.